right, so this is going to be a Zoom meeting. Just in case Dewey can't make it tonight, I'll upload this. Just in case Dewey can't make it for tutoring, so this is one of those things that I come back to a lot. Just a good exercise. So it's going to be taking answers and then making the question out of them. So just to kind of show you the basic structure of this, we start with the what question, auxiliary, subject, main verb, and then the rest of the sentence, okay? So we're going to take the answer and we're going to turn this into make the question, to which this is the answer, okay? So with this one, we start with, and I usually underline the part of the sentence that the question is about. So, because sometimes it could be two different or even three different things, okay? So this time it's in Cleveland, all right? So this one, I wish I had room to, maybe if you can see it, I'll write the answer above the question. Let's see. Okay. All right, I'll just write it below. So since this is a place, we're gonna have where is the question word. Okay, and because we now go to the verb part, because this is a non-to-be verb, stayed, and it is in the past tense, it's a regular verb, it's in the past tense, okay, we're going to use the auxiliary did. Okay, did is always for the past tense, non-to-be verbs. Subject is they. Main verb is going to be stay. We use the infinitive. Always use the infinitive. Okay. So did stay makes this past. Okay. And then so we have the WH the question word where, the auxiliary did, the subject they, the main verb stay, and then you just do the rest of the sentence. Okay. Where is Cleveland? Did they stay? And then just write the rest of the sentence on Saturday. Okay, so your question, sorry for the lack of space on that one, but I'll show it more on these. Where did they stay on Saturday? And then the answer, they stayed in Cleveland on Saturday with Johnny D, okay? Now, in speaking, your answer to this would be question, where did they stay on Saturday? Answer would be this, in Cleveland, or just Cleveland, okay? This just shows the answer in a full sentence. Next one is, we planted cucumbers in the garden last summer. Okay, let's do this. All right, so we'll do the cucumbers. Cucumbers is a thing, so our question word is what? We have the same situation with the verb this time. We have a regular verb in the past tense, planted, okay, just like stayed, planted. So we're doing the same thing. We're doing auxiliary, okay. It's past, so we do did. All right, subject is we or you, depending on the situation. Let's say I'm talking to two people let's see, yeah, 2 people, and I say, what did you, meaning you plural, okay? What did you, and then then infinitive verb, it's plant, okay? And that's it, and you just write the rest of the sentence in Frank Addington, having trouble spelling. All right, so that's it. What did you plant in the garden last summer? Answer would be, we planted cucumbers in the garden last summer, or just simply cucumbers. All right. Next one is a little different. So you have, he visits his aunt and uncle once a year. This is your answer. Your question, let's see, the part here that we're trying to question is once a year. Once a year is frequency. So with once a year, we use the question word, question phrase, how often? Okay. Again, we have a regular verb. This time it's in the present tense. Present tense, and it's referring to repeated action. He visits. All right. So we're doing the same thing, auxiliary. This time it's going to be, which one? Not did, but it's present. So we're doing does, because it's, okay, because he, she, it does. All right, how often does, subject he, verb visit, okay, infinitive. And then rest of the sentence, okay, we already took care of this part, once a year is how often. And then okay, so that's taken care of. Does he visit? That takes care of subject and verb, full verb. So the rest of the sentence would be this, right? Question. All right, how often does he visit his aunt and uncle? Answer in speaking would be once a year. 4, they're going to King's Dominion this Tuesday. All right, Dewey. This one's a little different because we have a to be verb, okay? Now, you have going as well, but this is in the present continuous tense, okay? So this takes a to be verb. All right, this one's a little bit easier as long as you can recognize you have a to be here. Okay, so it doesn't follow the same formula. With this one, we just switch the auxiliary with, which is are, with the subject. Okay, so you just switch it and then write the rest. All right. Oops, forgot to do the thing here. So let's do this one. It's different. This Tuesday, okay? We'll focus on that one. This Tuesday is a time, so we're using when. It's not a frequency, it's just a time, the day. All right, so when, and then like I said, switch. Okay, so this is they are, right? So you spell there, Dewey. It's when you're saying they are, not T-H-E-I-R or T-H-E-R-E. Where are you, Dewey? When are they? Okay. All right. So that's all you have to do with the to be verb ones, okay? And then just write the rest of the sentence. When are they? Okay. All right. When are they going to King's Dominion? All right. When is Frank Addington and Andy going to King's Dominion? I know he likes theme parks. He likes to go to Six Flags. So maybe we can meet at Ashland sometime. Go to King's Dominion. Hit up the hit up the, I can't even think of a ride there anymore. The, what's the roller coaster there? I forget, Rebel Yell, that's it. The one that was in Roller Coaster, 1977, George Siegel. Next one, 5, Chris is the manager of this restaurant. Let's do Chris, okay? Quiddifa. All right, so Big Blue is the manager of this restaurant. All right, so we have, start with our question. Who? It's a person, so we're doing who. Okay, again, we have to be this time. It's the main verb, it's in the present tense. Okay. So just use the verb, who is, and then the rest of the sentence. That's a pretty easy one. Okay. And speaking, the question would be, who is the manager of this restaurant? And then the answer would just be Chris. All right. Full sentence, Chris, the manager of this restaurant. 6, I want a lot of sauce, please. Okay, let's do, okay, I want a lot. So a lot is an amount. Okay, so we're gonna say, and it's an amount that is uncountable. Okay, you can't count the amount, so we say how much. It's like you use how much for time. Okay, how much time do we have? Or money, how much money do you have? Or you say for something that's uncountable, like how much salad do you want? Okay, all right, how much spaghetti do you want? How much milk do you want? And this one is how much, and how many. We always have the thing after it. Okay, always. You have the question, how much or how many, and then the thing. The thing is sauce. How much sauce? Of course, you don't say how much of sauce. How much sauce? Okay, and then you have, again, you have the, so this is following the same thing here, okay? But it's just a little different because you have the question word. This is how much, plus, then you have to add the thing, which is sauce, all right? Okay, so the next part is auxiliary, all right? The auxiliary, look at the verb. The verb is a non-to-be verb. Non-to-be verb, it is just a regular verb, and it's in the present tense, okay? So present tense, auxiliary. For a non-to-be verb, you're using do, not does, because the subject is going to be you. You change the subject here to you. We'll review that at the end. So how much sauce? Do, subject you, main verb want. All right. Okay. So you just have to think about that. Like, question. If the question is how much sauce do you want? Okay. Then the subject and the answer is going to be I want a lot of sauce, or it could be we want a lot of sauce. Okay. All right, moving on to 7. I stopped eating candy bars, and we'll use this is the whole thing here for the question part. All right, so this is the part we're focusing on. Anytime you have a because, okay, occasionally it could be for. Like I went to the store for bread, okay? But because is more common. Because is a reason, so your question is why. Question word is why. Why, okay, again, the auxiliary, look at your verb. Your verb is stopped. Your verb is not eating. Eating's an infinitive, so you have to use stopped, all right? Okay, so the auxiliary did, because it's in past tense, right? It's in past tense, so you use the did, okay? I becomes you, and then stop, use your speaking, you of course contract this. Why'd you stop eating candy bars? Because they have too many calories. Or you could just simply say, they have too many calories, all right? Allison has studied political science for a long time. Let's do this part. Okay, so again, for a long time is a duration, all right? A duration, a little different from this one. This one, once a year, is a frequency, which is how often. For a long time is a duration, so we say how long. Okay. All right. Duration of time and distance also will take how long. Can take how long. All right. How long? Now the verb here, okay, has studied. So this is a little different because now we're talking about a verb in the present perfect tense. But don't be scared by that because we have on this one, it's going to be just like you do on these to be verbs. Okay, you're just gonna switch the auxiliary with the subject. Okay, keep everything the same. Just switch the auxiliary, which is has, with the subject. All right. Okay, so auxiliary, subject, and then the verb. Okay. Keep it the same. Do not change this to has Allison studied. Okay, with present perfect ones, we keep it. We keep that in the question. We keep the tense the wording the exact same. All right. How long has Allison studied? And the rest of the sentence. All right. Political science. Poli-sci. All right. Question. How long has Allison studied political science? Answer, for a long time. All right. Or just a long time. Very, very informal way of answering. Okay. This is a stumbling block often for other speakers of other languages. They recognize this. For example, in Spanish, they see the has and they think it's the verb to have, to hold, which is tener in Spanish. So that becomes you have to recognize that it's not the verb to have or hold. It is the auxiliary in the present perfect tense that goes with studied. Okay. All right. Past participles, studied. Next one, I brought my umbrella. We'll just do the same. Because they said it's going to rain again. Because a reason, so it's why. Okay. Brought is a non-to-be verb, irregular this time. So you have to do a little. You have to know this is one where you have to know your irregular verbs. You have to change it you have to change this to the infinitive, right? Why brought is in the past. Did, subject is you. Okay. Why did you, what is brought? What is the root verb of brought? It's bring. Okay. And this time you have to switch this. Okay. The possessive pronoun my becomes your, right? Okay. All right, Dewey. So why? And then in speaking, you'd say, "Why'd you bring your umbrella?" Answer: they said it was going to rain. All right. He writes fiction books. Okay. He writes fiction books. All right. This is pretty easy. This is it's an irregular verb, but we'll underline that. Okay. Getting ahead of myself here. Fiction books. This is a little tricky one. This is one you have to kind of remind the person, like, this is a type of thing, all right? So the question is going to be what, you can say what type, and that's okay. It's a little bit too, not as common as saying what kind, okay? So what kind of books writes is in the present, right? And it's non-to be. So we say what kind of books, auxiliary is present tense, auxiliary does because it's he. Subject he. All right. Main verb write, not writes, write. He does he write? All right. What kind of books does he write? Fiction is an acceptable answer. All right. The wedding rehearsal is at. Just do this part again. The wedding rehearsal is at 5 o'clock. This one is a time, and you can say when. It just depends on the situation. Depends on how much you know about the wedding rehearsal. Okay, if you but when you see a time like this, often the question is going to be, instead of when, what time, okay? If I ask when, well, I'll get to that in a second, but what time is your question? Okay, here's the verb, it's to be, it's is in the present tense. What time is, so that's all you do, just switch the verb with the, as far as the wording order, with the subject. The subject is a long phrase this time, the wedding rehearsal. Okay? What time is, so it's a pretty easy one, you just have to remember the format. Can you see that? It might be a little low, but okay. What time is the wedding rehearsal? So if I asked you that, if I asked you when's the wedding rehearsal, the person would probably answer differently. They would say the wedding rehearsal is Friday night or Friday at 5 o'clock. Okay. Or they might just say it's Friday. And then the follow-up question would be what time? It'd be 5 o'clock, all right? But this one's just what time is the wedding rehearsal? 5. Okay, I might say 5 p.m. So this is assuming the person asking this, they know the day, all right? And so this is a good activity that has a lot of replay value. It helps you practice the wording order of a question in English, especially these the ones with do, does, and did, or it can be a little tricky and often can need some practice. So I hope that helps, and I hope that I'm glad you can make this Zoom meeting, Dewey. I'll see you next week, live, all right? Take care, buddy. And there's a look at him right there.